Hello everybody, it's Jackson Fulcher here, and this is my video for the most anticipated films of 2017 for me. Now, I have a lot of films to talk about, so it's going to be very rapid fire. I hope you keep up, and know that means that this is not a list video, because I don't want to rank them as far as which one I'm looking forward to. I just want to give you guys a general idea of the movies that I'm excited for this year, so let's get right on into it. First up, Split, which comes out January 20th, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie that has some pretty good buzz, and I really liked what he did with The Visit, so I hope he delivers once again with Split. The second one I have is John Wick Chapter 2, which comes out February 10th, and this movie I am extremely excited for because when I saw the first John Wick, I wanted a franchise of this character and this world, and now we're getting that, and it's from the same directors, so that's also fantastic. On the same weekend, we have the Lego Batman movie. Lego Batman was one of my favorite parts of the Lego movie, which was already an incredible movie, so I can't wait to see it for that obvious reason. Also, this is like the first of many Lego movie spin-offs because we're getting like Lego Ninjago later this year, so that'll be interesting to see. It's February 17th, we have The Cure for Wellness, a new horror film from Gore Verbinski, who's directed movies like The Ring and the first three Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Rango, and we're just going to forget about The Lone Ranger because this movie looks like it's beautifully shot. I don't know if it's going to be actually scary or not, but from the looks of it, it looks like it could be. Also on February 17th, we have The Great Wall. Now, I'm not really expecting much out of this movie as far as substance or great emotional aspects. I'm just looking for a really fun, maybe visually beautiful movie, and The Great Wall looks like that. I think it could be really entertaining. On March 3rd, we have Logan. This movie looks so epic for the X-Men universe at 20th Century Fox. I love the direction they're going with the Wolverine character in this movie, and since this might be the last time we're seeing Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, I can't wait to see it for that obvious reason. I'm probably going to cry. On March 10th, we have Kong Skull Island, the second installment of the new Monsters cinematic universe. First, we had Godzilla in 2014, and now we're getting Kong Skull Island, and it's going to lead up to when Kong and Godzilla fight. This movie looks really epic. I hope that this movie turns out great so this franchise doesn't fail. On March 17th, we have Beauty and the Beast, and I'm looking forward to this movie because the director did Mr. Holmes, and so far from what I'm seeing, it looks like it could be a solid movie. I'm not sure if this is a necessary remake, but it looks like it can be a solid movie. Also on March 17th, we have The Belko Experiment. Now, I'm kind of iffy on this movie. It's a new Blumhouse horror movie from the director of The Darkness, but it's being written by James Gunn. So, I don't know, maybe James Gunn can make this movie better than it sounds like it could end up being, but then again, you have that director, so hopefully the director doesn't screw it up. On March 24th, we have Power Rangers, and I've watched a few episodes of the original show. It's terrible, and the direction they're going with this movie from the trailer, it looks like the appropriate direction for this kind of franchise to go. It doesn't look too serious, but it doesn't look too goofy. It looks like it found, like, the middle portion of that. Also on March 24th is a movie called Life. Now, the director, he's done some things before, but it has Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal and Rebecca Ferguson, I believe, too. So that I like the cast, and from the trailer, it looks like it can be an intriguing movie, so I can't wait to see it. On April 14th, we have The Fate of the Furious, the new Fast and the Furious movie, the 8th installment, believe it or not, and I know the title might be a little bit dumb, but I'm still looking forward to this movie because I'm a big fan of the series, more so 5, 6, and 7 of them, and this is from director F. Gary Gray, who recently did Straight Outta Compton, too, so that's a big reason to look forward to it. On May 5th, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I loved the first movie from 2014, and I cannot wait for this one. James Gunn, he's a genius. That's why I'm looking forward to the Belko Experiment just slightly because of him. He really knows what he's doing, and I can't wait to see what he has to deliver with this movie. On May 19th, we have Alien Covenant, which we recently got the trailer to on Christmas Day, and it looks bloody, it looks amazing, and I can't wait to see if Ridley Scott has his groove back because a lot of people didn't like Prometheus. I like Prometheus, so I'm actually way more excited for Alien Covenant than maybe a lot of other people do, so maybe this movie won't be as divisive with Alien fans as Prometheus was. On May 26th, Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales. Now, some people might not be looking forward to this movie, but I honestly can't really help it because I like the Pirates series. I grew up with it. Johnny Depp, this was my first introduction to Johnny Depp, so that's why I'm looking forward to this movie. On June 2nd, we have Wonder Woman. Now, the DC Extended Universe, it has two strikes. I liked Man of Steel, but Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad, massive disappointments. And I'm just going to say this right now. If Wonder Woman is another disappointment for the DCEU, I am not going to be excited for Justice League. I'm going to go in with the lowest of low expectations. On June 9th, we have The Mummy, which I thought was the second installment of the Universal Monsters movie after Dracula Untold, but apparently this is the first, because Dracula Untold doesn't count anymore, which already gives me a good sign. The trailer, besides Tom Cruise's awkward scream, actually looks pretty cool. Sophia Botella from Kingsman and Star Trek Beyond is The Mummy. That is actually pretty cool, and I can't wait to see the movie. On June 23rd, I am sorry, but it's Transformers: The Last Night, and I'm only saying this because I'm going in with mixed expectations because I like Transformers 1 and 3. The trailer looks good, but all Transformers trailers look good, and it could just be the same thing over again, but I'm going in optimistically about this movie. On June 30th is Despicable Me 3. Now, I didn't really know if I was going to be excited for a third Despicable Me after Minions, but they got Trey Parker as the villain, and he's hysterical in the trailer, so Trey Parker alone is why I'm looking forward to Despicable Me 3. On July 7th, we have Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man is back in the MCU, and possibly, hopefully, done right. I can't wait to see if this is the Spider-Man movie fans have been waiting for. I can't wait to see how Tom Holland does in a leading role as Spider-Man, and Michael Keaton as the Vulture is very interesting. On July 14th, we have War for the Planet of the Apes, which is, I think, the last time we're going to be seeing Caesar on the big screen, so no more motion capture for Andy Serkis. As far as Caesar goes, he's probably going to do like 10 more motion capture roles in his career, but I'm looking forward to this movie because it is possibly the last time, the last installment of this trilogy that I'm a big fan of so far, and the trailer looks epic. I'm so glad Matt Reeves came back, who directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I'm so glad he came back for this one. On July 21st, Dunkirk, the new Christopher Nolan movie from World War II, and this movie looks really great. In Nolan we trust. That's what I say with a couple other people. In Nolan we trust, because he is a fantastic director, and this movie looks very good. My big question, though, is this going to be PG-13, because he's been doing that lately, or is this going to be rated R to kind of fit in with the war theme? I honestly don't know yet, but either way, I'm excited for this movie. On August 11th, Baby Driver. Now you might be wondering, what's Baby Driver? Well, it's the new film from Edgar Wright. Unfortunately, it doesn't star Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, but nonetheless, it's an Edgar Wright movie, and if you didn't know, I have a huge appreciation for Edgar Wright. My favorite movie of 2013 used to be The World's End, now it's The Wolf of Wall Street, but back then, it was The World's End because I love The World's End so much. Edgar Wright I have a huge respect for, so I can't wait to see what he does with this movie. Also, August 11th, Annabelle 2 from director David F. Sandberg, who did Lights Out recently, and Lights Out was a decent horror film. The first Annabelle movie kinda sucked, but now that he's taking over, I hope Annabelle 2 can be what the first Annabelle movie should have been. On September 8th, we have It, which is the remake of the classic It Stephen King book, and also of the old miniseries starring Tim Curry, and that old miniseries is really goofy, so hopefully this movie actually captures the scariness of the clown character. They have one of the Skarsgårds playing him, I forget which one, but from a couple images that have been released, it looks like they're heading in the right direction. Hopefully that is the case. On October 6th, Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I am so excited for this movie because Kingsman: The Secret Service was a fantastic movie from 2 years ago, so underappreciated in my opinion, and I'm so glad they're actually making a sequel to this movie. I would love if the Kingsman series would keep going, especially since they have Matthew Vaughn returning to direct. I was so scared when they announced they were making a sequel if Matthew Vaughn was going to return, but he is. Thank goodness for that. On also October 6th, we have Blade Runner 2049, and this movie I'm very excited for because I love the first Blade Runner. The trailer looked very good, and it's from director Denis Villeneuve, who's done Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, and now Arrival. So obviously, this movie's got to have some talent behind it. I have huge trust in this movie. Please don't let me down. On October 20th, Insidious Chapter 4. Now, a lot of people probably don't want this sequel to happen, but in my opinion, they have a director who did a Netflix horror film, or a horror film that's mostly known for being on Netflix, that apparently has some appreciation. So, I'm interested in seeing that alone. Also, Mike Flanagan tweeted saying that the director is a good guy, so I have trust in him too. On October 27th, we have God Particle. In case you didn't know, that is the third installment of the Cloverfield series, but they changed it to like Untitled Cloverfield movie, and I don't know why they did that. They probably pushed it back. It was supposed to come out in February, and they pushed it back to this time, probably for editing purposes or something like that. Still, I'm looking forward to it because I like Cloverfield a lot, and I love 10 Cloverfield Lane. On November 3rd, Thor Ragnarok, the Thor movie that's going to have Hulk, and it's from the director of What We Do in the Shadows, which is what from what I hear, a fantastic comedy. So I can't wait to see what the director does with this movie. From what I hear from people at Comic-Con, it already looks a lot better than the previous two Thor films, because a lot of people are very divisive on the first two Thors. Some people like them, some people hate them. Maybe this is the one that'll be loved by everyone. On November 17th, Justice League. Now, I pretty much already stated how I feel about this movie when I talked about Wonder Woman. If Wonder Woman turns out to be a huge disappointment, then I'm going to lower my expectations greatly for this movie, because I don't want to be tricked more than 3 times in the DCEU, so I'm just going to move on from that. On November 22nd, we have Coco, the new Pixar film. Now, there hasn't been a trailer yet, but still, it's Pixar, and it's an original Pixar film, so that alone is why I'm excited for it. And on November 22nd also is Murder on the Orient Express, which is an adaptation of an Agatha Christie novel, and I'm a big fan of Agatha Christie after reading her book, And Then There Were None. I actually got Murder on the Orient Express, the book, for Christmas, so as soon as I'm done reading it, I'll probably look forward to this movie a lot more. But since it is an Agatha Christie adaptation, and it has a great cast, Kenneth Branagh and Johnny Depp are in it, I can't wait to see this movie. And finally, the last movie on here, December 15th, you knew it was here, Star Wars Episode 8. Obviously my most anticipated film of the entire year. It's Star Wars. How can I not be excited for it? And there hasn't even been a trailer yet, unlike The Force Awakens, which had a trailer like the year prior. But still, even without a trailer, you have Rian Johnson, the director of Looper, on board to do this. You have most of the cast saying that this movie is going to be epic, and it's the last time that we're going to be seeing Carrie Fisher on screen. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher, and that is why I'm looking forward to Star Wars Episode 8 the most. But what are your most anticipated films of this year? Leave them in the comments below, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.